Hello and welcome to Lost in South Oz. This is Nuriootpa station, and this bit of track bed that we're looking at now is part of what they call the triangle. So there are two types of or ways to turn a loco around, and one is with a turntable, the other one is with a triangle. So basically the loco would go up here and then come around down the other side, with the track running down that way, and then the other side of the station, and then it would be facing the right direction. So what we're in the middle of now is the triangle of Nuriootpa, or Nuri. Nuri had quite an extensive sidings and a passenger service and a goods service. So one of the major, if you like, one of the major stations in the network out here, which has been long closed. So there's your other line of the, if you like, the other siding for the triangle, and it runs through there. There's now obviously a cycleway or a footway through here. It's all open public area, and out here we have Nuri platform. And a beautiful example of a goods crane, which is missing from some of the other ones. I don't know, when people walk their dogs through here. And obviously with all the bits, it's a public thoroughfare. This side would have been, as you can see, we're up on the platform here at Nuri. Would have had your waiting rooms and see 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there was another one on the other side of the goods platform over there, and all your sidings branched out down there. That goes towards Tanunda. So 4 along here, and there would be another one on the other side there, I believe. I think down here, I think you have a siphon, by memory. Again, you know, this all closed down in '68, and it was all used for goods after that. And you have to remember also that there were a lot of other factors as well. South Australia had 3 main gauges, your broad, your narrow, and your standard gauge, and then you had your light gauge rail, what you use for trams and small or lighter gauge rail, like industrial stuff, like they had in the Holden factory. Holden factory had your gauge going in, but that was all big standard gauge. But a lot of the military places had the narrow gauge. The site over at Davern Line, it had a standard gauge going into it, and then a light gauge going through it to where all the powder magazines were. Sorry, As you can see, this is a goods platform. There probably would have been goods buildings here. You can see the steps coming here, going on the platform. And there would have been a big shed here. And then there was probably a siding down the other side of it. And I think I spoke about how the other bit of concrete at Linddock couldn't have been the crane platform or the crane foundations, because it has like a steel rail that runs around it. It's all hand cranked. Some of them have the makers plate on them, but a lot of them basically it's been stolen. There's your tank for your siphon. So for the steam engines, they would have refilled it. There's a siphon up there. Zoom in. There's your siphon there. But we'll go up to that. So that, you know, the locos needed water. It would have been pumped up to the tank, and the engineers would have drove the loco underneath that before loading passengers and filled up the boiler. Walk across the tracks. Yeah, but interestingly, yeah, all that, you know, like I said, this is not passenger rail. This is all goods. And the passenger line looking back down towards the platform there. And there would have been over here, let's say there's the telegraph poles, which is a tel sign that goes down the passenger side. So all your telegraph poles for your communications and your power. And then it would have been another building here, and that would, no way would that have been for passengers. That would have been some works building. And this is where your triangle comes out, where your loco would have came down, and so you know basically the train would have pulled in. They would have disconnected the loco. The loco then would have driven up this line, got up there, backed into the triangle, gone all the way around, and then entered the main line again, and then backed up to the back of the carriages and then took off again. With the carriages, obviously. So here's the siphon. So I'm walking a bit sort of, and there is deraillers here. So if you look, we're walking alongside the main passenger line here, or the main line in. And if you look at the adjacent tracks with the switches on them for the goods, there is deraillers for obvious reasons. Even though it's a goods line, they would have had carriages or cars sitting in there getting loaded. The last thing they would like is them to get out of control and go down and meet the main line. So they would have been put in place to safeguard that. There's lots of switches, and there's your Stovey poles coming into the station area. There's just telegraph poles once they get in the area, but there's actual Stovey poles going in here. Yeah, and I don't know where this track veers off, but it does split going out of the yard, going to down another line. So, like I said, I mean, major sidings, 4 or 5 sidings in here, and as you go out this end, the line continues and it branches here. So as you're walking towards it, there's actually like an island of dirt, and the line would have went either side of it as a branch. But yeah, these tracks are in rather good condition. The sleepers are getting beyond it, but they haven't all laid over, they're all straight. Yeah. And this is your main switch into the station area, and so you've got what you got here is your first siding for the station and platform area going this way, and then this way you've got obviously a switch for the line going in 2 different directions as it's coming out. So, and as you can see, there's old steps so going up the embankment, so who knows, there could have been something there. And yeah, there literally could have been, but there's bits of old track and bits of old infrastructure everywhere. This one's yellow and green, so you've got your red and your green and your yellow and your green. So obviously one's passenger and one's goods. Yeah. But yeah, there is still the siphon and still the crane here, and the platforms still exist, but all the buildings are gone. And this area has become part of the cycleway. It crosses it, so, but it's still here, and that's a good thing. I have heard of the nails and stuff having dates on them, but I don't see that. I mean, obviously maybe they've been all taken and for collectors, but with the date nails in them, but I've very rarely seen them now. It's just we'll go over here and have a look at this. Oh, I missed this switch over here. This is the other kind they have here for switching the tracks. It's like a lever, so you have the one you turn, and then you have this lever that you pull, and it swings over the top. But well, that bit of steel has like 80 stamped on it, but like I said, the goods line services here went through. Well, this line would have went through 2015. I don't know when it stopped, so it's quite probable that it was last upgrade or maintenance was done in the 80s, but not for passengers. It's nice walking around these old platform station areas. It's looking at what was once here. I'm just documenting what was here. I don't know the history of Nuri station and goods yard, but the old railway ties, or the old railway pins, the nails that they hold them down with. Yeah, I don't see any date ones here, so they must have gone. Here's another derailleur and the switch for the derailleur. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching and coming on a journey of discovering what's left at Nuri station, or railway station again. I liked learning what was here, and hope you did too. I find it quite interesting that this was such a busy station and now nothing. And yeah, forgotten in time, if you want to put it that way. Forgotten, but not really. And that's what I'm doing. I'm recording what's here now, so that I know that in some other areas they're ripping this all up and making this part of the all part of the railway, part of the you know, the cycleway and recreation areas. And I don't know what their goal is for this area, but yeah. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to, like if you'd like, but thank you. All the best. Take care.